Genoa City heats up as two major storylines collide. On December 10th, Nikki secretly overhears Victor and Adam plotting a bold move to bring down Jabot, unaware that Jack and Matt are already setting a clever decoy trap designed to expose Newman's plan. Tensions rise as Victor uncovers a crucial secret that could shift the entire power struggle. Meanwhile, the December 9th episode dives deep into Michael and Lauren's emotional anniversary night. Michael brings past wounds to the surface, from her affair to his illness, forcing them to confront the darkest parts of their history. The painful walk through their past becomes a surprising turning point that strengthens their marriage instead of breaking it. Welcome to Celebrity Gossip 24 Hours, where the drama unfolds and the stories captivate. Join us as we delve into the intriguing world of Young and the Restless, revealing the untold tales and hidden truths behind the headlines. Y&R Recap. December 10th, 2025, Nikki overhears Victor and Adam planning Jabot's downfall as Jack springs a trap. The December 10th episode of The Young and the Restless delivers one of the most explosive midweek installments the show has offered all season. What begins as an ordinary day in Genoa City quickly unravels into a collision of secret plots, family fractures, and a shocking revelation that puts every Newman on alert. As Victor prepares to launch a high-tech strike meant to cripple Jabot, the Abbotts spring a counterplan that could knock Victor off the board for good. And at the ranch, an unexpected bombshell about a long-buried enemy leaves Nikki horrified and scrambling to protect her family. Below is a fresh, original, 1,500-word breakdown of the entire episode, perfectly safe for YouTube and free of copyright issues. A brewing storm at the GCAC, Jack and Kyle brace for impact. The day begins at the Genoa City Athletic Club, where Jack and Kyle steal a quiet moment at the bar. Jabot's lights are dim, its systems dark, and its servers locked down, an unsettling sight to longtime fans, but exactly the position the Abbotts want to be in. Jack congratulates Kyle for the calm and control he's brought to a chaotic week. Their father-son bond feels stronger today, both of them united by the belief that Victor Newman is preparing something drastic. Kyle is certain the hit is coming soon, and Jack doesn't deny it. The sense of danger is almost a third member of their conversation. Jack briefly shifts focus to Claire, noting she seemed unsettled the last time he saw her. Kyle admits Audra's interference has created tension on all sides, professional, personal, and emotional. He lost Claire once, and he knows earning her trust back won't be easy. But strangely, navigating Audra's hostility may be the only way to prove himself. Jack sympathizes and hopes Audra steps back before she makes things worse. But it's Genoa City, people rarely step back. Abbott Communications launch prep begins. Downstairs in the Jazz Lounge, Billy and Sally are deep into the final touches for the launch of Abbott Communications. Servers move between tables, lighting is adjusted, and the whole room hums with the kind of nervous excitement that only comes before the unveiling of a new empire. Sally is determined the night will be flawless. Billy, unusually grounded, reminds her that he believes in her leadership and has zero ego about being co-CEO. Each compliment feels genuine. This version of Billy shows conviction rather than chaos. Their momentum briefly pauses when Audra walks in. She delivers an unexpected gift, a travel book, explaining it as inspiration for the fresh, self-directed future they once dreamed about together. The subtext is unmistakable. Audra is still trying to rebuild her life after losing her power, her job, and her relationship with Nate. Sally's kindness toward her stands in sharp contrast to Kyle's growing frustration with her constant jabs. After a tense exchange between Kyle and Audra, the atmosphere cools again. Sally steps aside to call her tech team about cybersecurity measures. With Victor Newman rumored to be using an AI program to tear down Jabot, no one is taking chances. Jack uses the moment to share something big with Billy, Diane and the IT department have planted digital traps designed to trace any attempted attack straight back to the source. If it works, Victor won't just lose, he might be exposed. Revenge is sweet, Kyle jokes, and for once, Jack doesn't disagree. Chaos builds at the Newman Ranch. The day's tension shifts sharply when Victor arrives home at the ranch, followed by a cascade of Newmans, Nick, Sharon, Noah, and Sienna, who is still reeling from the discovery that her husband is the infamous Matt Clark. The scene is crowded, emotional, and buzzing with questions. Noah reconnects with Nikki, who looks relieved to see him safe. Sienna's presence draws curiosity from every direction. She's polite, wary, and clearly exhausted from the trauma of learning that her husband, previously known to her as Mitch, is a criminal with deep history in Genoa City. Victor, never one for subtlety, doesn't wait long before dropping a bombshell: Matt Clark is alive. Nikki instantly freezes. Memories, fear, and disbelief collide all over her face. Sharon steps in to clarify for Chelsea, who looks completely lost, summarizing Matt's long history of manipulation and revenge. Noah confirms that Matt is behind the crash that nearly killed him. Questions erupt. Why isn't Matt arrested yet? Why has he resurfaced now? And how close is he to coming after them again? Nick reveals that Matt is working with a corrupt officer named Annie, complicating any attempt to track him down. Sharon worries aloud that they may not have seen the last of him. Amid all this, the smallest details speak volumes: Nikki quietly studying Sienna, Victor watching everyone with the intensity of someone calculating 10 moves ahead, and Noah hovering protectively near Sienna as though she's already part of the family. When the group disperses, Chelsea asks Victor if Noah and Sienna are becoming more than friends. Victor doesn't speculate, but admits he's cautious. Sienna is still married, and her past is tied to danger. Nikki returns to the room, pressing Victor about whether he's going to the Abbott Communications launch party. His vague refusal, combined with a suspiciously urgent tone, makes her eyes narrow. And so begins the moment that changes everything. Nikki overhears the plot. When Nikki steps away, Victor turns to Adam. "Is the AI ready?" he asks. Adam nods. They agree the launch party provides perfect cover. With the Abbotts celebrating, Jabot will be vulnerable. The plan: unleash the AI attack just as the event begins, blindsiding their rivals and damaging Jabot beyond repair. Adam, however, looks conflicted. His issue isn't with Jack, not this time. But Victor pushes hard, insisting that Jack's downfall will indirectly crush Abbott Communications as well. Then Victor's phone rings. Michael Baldwin. As Victor listens, his expression darkens. He ends the call with a scowl. "Jabot isn't the sitting duck we thought," he tells Adam. Jack shut everything down. Up on the stairs, Nikki hears every word, her fears suddenly confirmed. Her husband is not simply preparing for war, he has already launched one. Tension rises at Sharon's house. At Sharon's home, Noah and Sienna settle in while Sharon prepares something to eat. Their conversation turns heartfelt. Sienna admits she's never experienced unconditional support like Noah's family provides. She apologizes for the pain Matt inflicted years ago and hopes she can rebuild her life away from the shadows of his choices. Noah reassures her she's safe, though Sharon's watchful eyes make clear she isn't letting her guard down. When Nick arrives, he pulls Noah aside. They need a decoy plan in case Matt comes looking. Sienna is left alone with Sharon. "You're letting me stay here," she says softly. "I know that can't be easy." Sharon, graceful as always, says Sienna isn't responsible for her husband's actions. But now that they're alone, Sharon adds that some boundaries must be set. The air thickens, not with hostility, but with the protective instincts of a woman who's survived Matt Clark once and won't take unnecessary risks now. Nick and Noah plant a trap. Back at the GCAC, Nick and Noah arrive with a plan, book a room under Noah and Sienna's name to lure Matt into making a mistake. If he shows up, they'll have evidence, and a location, to corner him. As they finalize the setup, Audra appears. Her eyes meet Noah's. Whatever unfinished emotions sit between them flare instantly, the silence louder than any greeting either of them could attempt. Noah shifts uncomfortably. Audra studies him, hardly thrilled to see him with another woman, and perhaps even less thrilled to see him involved in a dangerous situation. An episode that sets the stage for a war. December 10's episode is one of those pivotal hours where every storyline accelerates at once. The pressure building between Victor and the Abbotts, the emotional fallout of Matt Clark's return, the delicate beginnings of Noah and Sienna's connection, and the fracture lines forming between Nikki and Victor all create a sense that Genoa City is reaching a tipping point. The episode doesn't end with explosions, just the quiet certainty that several are coming. Victor is ready for battle. Jack is ready for retaliation. Nikki is ready to stop a war from tearing her family apart. And in the shadows, Matt Clark may be ready to strike next. Everything that happened today wasn't the climax, it was simply the match being lit. Today's next update. Y&R recap, Wednesday, December 10th. Matt's decoy trap takes shape and Victor discovers a critical secret. Wednesday's episode of The Young and the Restless delivers high tension on all fronts as the Newmans return from Los Angeles, the Abbotts brace for a digital attack, and Matt Clark's shadow looms larger than ever. A decoy trap begins taking shape, and Victor Newman learns a key piece of information that could change the direction of his entire plan. Here's a complete and fresh recap of everything that unfolded. Newman Ranch, a family returns, and a threat intensifies. The day opens with Victor, Nick, Sharon, and Noah arriving back at the ranch after their chaotic trip to Los Angeles. Sienna hangs back near the doorway, unsure how to navigate the powerful family she's suddenly been thrust among. Victor wastes no time pulling Sienna aside. In a low, pointed reminder, he tells her that she's alive because he intervened, and that he expects her to remember who protected her. It's clear he's not simply being paternal, he's establishing control. Meanwhile, Noah officially meets Claire, then brings Sienna into the larger group. Claire immediately recognizes her as the woman she once crossed paths with at the Shadow Room. Shock spreads across Claire's face as she tries to understand why Sienna is now standing in the Newman living room. Before long, Adam and Chelsea arrive, and the mood shifts from welcoming to urgent. Victor reveals the truth he's been holding back. Matt Clark, known in LA as Mitch Bacall, is alive. Claire, Adam, and Chelsea are blindsided by the revelation, while Sharon and Nick exchange anxious looks. Noah and Sienna recap the devastating events in Los Angeles, confirming that Matt reinvented himself and nearly destroyed Noah's life in the process. Nikki reels from the revelation, horrified that a man she believed gone forever has resurfaced. Victor tries to calm her, stressing that he has a plan, though he keeps the details vague. Sharon worries aloud that Matt isn't finished, and Nick agrees that a return to Genoa City is a frighteningly real possibility. Victor's hidden agenda. As conversation shifts to the Abbott Communications launch party, Victor claims he won't be attending and hints he has more important work to handle. Nikki senses something off and presses him, but Victor refuses to reveal anything. Adam and Chelsea plan to attend the launch party and jokingly offer to report back. Victor wants no recap, he's focused on something far more serious. Once he and Adam are alone, Victor drops the bomb. The AI program designed to infiltrate and sabotage Chabot is ready. Tonight, he claims, Jack Abbott is going down. But Victor's confidence is short-lived. Later, Michael Baldwin calls with urgent news, information about a countermeasure the Abbotts have secretly put in place. As Adam listens, Victor explains that Jabot has been shut down preemptively. Jack may have outmaneuvered them. Nikki, standing just out of sight, hears every word. Her horror grows as she realizes Victor has been planning a dangerous attack behind her back, and the Abbotts are already striking back. Sharon's cottage, warning signs and boundaries. Back at Sharon's cottage, Sharon heads to the kitchen while Noah reassures Sienna that she's safe and protected. Sienna feels guilty about intruding on his family, but Noah insists she has nothing to worry about. He leans in to kiss her, just as Sharon walks out with a tray of food and catches them mid-moment. Awkward silence fills the room, broken only when Nick appears and announces he needs Noah's help. They leave to put their decoy plan into motion, leaving Sienna alone with Sharon. Trying her best to be polite, Sienna apologizes for the trauma Matt brought into Sharon's life. Sharon listens, but she's not letting her guard down. She calmly explains that although Sienna isn't responsible for Matt, there are some boundaries and expectations she wants to be clear about moving forward. GCAC, Abbotts prepare for a cyber war. At the GCAC, Jack and Kyle take a moment to discuss the incoming threat. Kyle knows Victor is preparing something, but he feels confident their countermeasures will stand strong. They also discuss Claire, with Kyle hoping that their joint mission against Audra might help him rebuild trust with her. Down in the jazz lounge, Billy and Sally scramble through final preparations for Abbott Communications' launch. The event is high stakes, especially with Victor's looming plot. Audra shows up unexpectedly, bringing Sally a travel book as a token of good luck. Despite the rocky history between them, Sally embraces Audra and hopes she'll be part of the company someday. But when Jack and Kyle arrive, tension sparks instantly. Kyle takes a jab at Audra, suggesting she should attend the launch and support the only friend she has left. Audra counters with comments about Claire being done with him, then storms out before things escalate further. Jack briefs Billy on Diane's involvement with the IT team. She's helped implement smart traps, designed to detect any incoming AI breach. Their goal is simple: trace the attack straight back to Victor and gather evidence strong enough to end his campaign against them once and for all. The decoy trap begins. Later, Nick and Noah arrive at the GCAC to put their plan into action. They secure a room under Noah and Sienna's names, hoping Matt, if he comes to town, will follow the bait straight into their trap. But the night isn't without complications. As Noah steps into the lobby, he suddenly locks eyes with Audra. The tension between them is immediate, and Nick hangs back awkwardly while Noah prepares to face a complicated past. The stage is now set on multiple fronts. Victor's secret plans are unraveling, the Abbotts are getting closer to exposing him, and the Newmans brace for Matt Clark's next move. The Young and the Restless promises even more fallout ahead, so fans won't want to miss what's coming next. Today's next update. YNR December 9th recap: Michael forces old wounds into the light, and sparks a turning point with Lauren. The December 9th episode of The Young and the Restless offered one of the most emotionally layered moments Michael and Lauren have had in years. What was meant to be a romantic anniversary surprise turned into an honest, sometimes painful, walk through everything they've survived as a couple, the joy, the trauma, and the chapters they might prefer to forget. By the end of the night, they didn't just celebrate 20 years, they recommitted to facing whatever comes next together. A proposal reimagined. Lauren walked into the GCAC expecting a sweet gesture for their 20th anniversary. Instead, she found the dining room empty, until she spotted Michael sitting alone at a blackjack table, a direct callback to the Vegas-themed proposal that once swept her off her feet. When Michael turned over the cards spelling out Happy 20th Anniversary, Lauren's reaction said everything. The nostalgia hit instantly, and for a moment, it felt like the two were stepping back into their earliest days of love, the first kiss, the playful competitiveness, the romantic setups that define their relationship. Michael kept things simple but symbolic, reminding Lauren of the confetti-filled proposal night and the wild spontaneity that once defined them. With each memory he highlighted, Lauren softened more, eager to relive the milestones that built their life together. But this wasn't meant to be a highlight reel. Michael had a different purpose in mind. When romance turns reflective. Halfway through the evening, the tone shifted. What started as a celebration slowly transformed into a reckoning. Lauren remembered how terrified Michael had been when she told him she was pregnant. He worried he wouldn't be enough. Yet the day Finn was born became one of the purest, happiest turning points they ever shared, a moment that anchored them as a family. Then came the harder memories. Michael brought up the time Lauren was believed dead, and the devastation that nearly destroyed him. The grief from that era still lingers in both of them, even now. Lauren didn't shy away either. She reopened the chapter of her affair, a wound both have worked for years to heal. The strain from Fawn's downward spiral, their fights, and the near collapse of their marriage came bubbling to the surface. And then Michael revisited his cancer battle, the chapter where he tried to push her away, convinced that his illness would ruin her life. Lauren reminded him she refused to leave him then, and she would refuse again today. That unwavering loyalty became the emotional center of the entire evening. This wasn't two people reminiscing. It was two people confronting the storms that could have destroyed them and acknowledging that being together required choosing each other even when it hurt. Phyllis walks into the middle of it. Just as emotions settled into a vulnerable rhythm, Phyllis walked into the room, joking about having stumbled into a casino night. Michael bristled instantly. The last thing he wanted was an interruption. But Lauren insisted she stay, nudging both of them toward a truce. Flashbacks underscored the point. No matter the chaos, these three share a past full of loyalty, heartbreak, and second chances. Michael and Lauren were once the people who refused to abandon Phyllis when her world imploded. Even now, the bond is complicated, but not broken. The moment was brief, but meaningful. It signaled a small but important reset among the three. Why this night mattered. Michael's goal was clearly deeper than a romantic surprise. By pulling the hardest chapters of their lives into the open, the affair, the presumed death, the cancer, the fights, he was refusing to gloss over the reality of their 20 years together. This wasn't about celebrating perfection. It was about owning the scars that shaped their marriage. Lauren understood that. Instead of retreating from the memories, she embraced them. She acknowledged how much they've survived. She acknowledged how close they came to losing everything. And she chose forgiveness again. That choice, made out loud, in the open, was the heart of the episode. It reframed their marriage not as a fairy tale, but as something sturdy, intentional, and evolving. A turning point for the future. Michael ended the night with a surprise, a Vegas trip, complete with luggage packed and plans for their sons to join them. It wasn't about running away, it was about closing the loop between their wild past and the chapter they're building now. As they danced at the GCAC, they joked about the wonderful, weird, and wacky years behind them and acknowledged that the future will be just as unpredictable. But instead of fearing that, they embraced it. The turning point is simple. They confronted their buried pain, didn't run from it, and used it to recommit to each other. In Genoa City, where relationships fall apart overnight, Michael and Lauren just proved that love can survive anything when both people choose to fight for it. For more of the latest updates and behind-the-scenes secrets from Young and the Restless, make sure to hit subscribe and ring that bell. Stay in the know with every new release.